guys, welcome to part number 2 of episode number 2 of the Nerdic Pro Podcast's wrestling news series. Now, I have done part number 1 to this. I literally only stopped part number 1 because I quickly had to nip the toilet. A quick rundown of part 1 of this podcast, of this 2 sort of part podcast. I ran down my predictions for the men's 2022 Royal Rumble match, and I started speaking about Mustafa Ali's request to be released from the WWE. His request to be released from the WWE has been declined, and I started talking about All Ego Ethan Page and Josh Alexander when they were a tag team in Impact Wrestling, who then later became the longest reigning Impact Wrestling / TNA World Tag Team Champions in company history, going back to the tag team titles original inauguration in, I want to say, 2007. Continuing on from where I left off, I started talking about Ethan Page, All Ego Ethan Page with Josh Alexander. I was a bit shocked that they didn't really have a feud with each other, just after they'd actually lost the tag team titles for a second time to the Good Brothers. I want the date written down here, on the 14th, of November 2021, losing them to Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson of the Good Brothers. Now, they had originally won the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championships. They'd originally beaten Santana and Ortiz of the Latin American Exchange. Santana and Ortiz were at the time members of the LAX of the Latin American Exchange. They had beaten LAX, Santana and Ortiz on I've got it down here somewhere, on July 5th 2019, and then ended up losing the titles 380 days later to Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the at the time returning tag team to Impact Wrestling of the Motor City Machine Guns, the legendary TNA tag team of the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, they then won them back on October the 24th, 2020, and then only 21 days later ended up losing them on November 14th to the Good Brothers of Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, 2 former members of the Bullet Club. Now, during the Good Brothers' reign of Impact, during this reign of the Good Brothers being Impact Tag Team Champions, they then, at the start of January 2021, had then actually debuted in All Elite Wrestling AEW. Now, personally, I think that fucking Josh Alexander and Ethan Page were a great tag team in Impact. As I said in part 1 of this series, I would definitely rate them. I rated them during the pandemic era. I personally rated them as tag team number 3 of the best tag teams in the world at the time of the pandemic era. So when all 3 major companies in America, such as Impact Wrestling / TNA, the WWE, and AEW had all started had all actually started doing shows behind closed doors because of COVID. That was when I officially started. That's when I personally say we then went into the pandemic era of professional wrestling, during the pandemic era, I would have rated the North, as they were known as in the tag team, as the third best ranked tag team in the world. Now, you can disagree with me all you want when I say this. You can disagree with me when I say that. Do you know what I mean? But I would happily rate them as the third best ranked tag team in the world at the time during the behind closed doors era of the pandemic era. Obviously, the pandemic era was still in. I would have liked to have seen a bit of a feud between Alexander and Ethan Page, but obviously Ethan Page is now known as the All Ego Ethan Page in All Elite Wrestling AEW. Obviously had a match on Fridays, on this past Friday's edition of AEW Rampage in a losing effort against the returning to AEW Jon Moxley. And Josh Alexander is still contracted with Impact Wrestling. He's still a regular appearee. Since the breakup, so to speak, of the North, Josh Alexander has since gone on to win the Impact Wrestling World Championship, only holding it for a day after then losing it to Moose, who are predicted to be number 30 in this year's WWE 2022 Royal Rumble match. But so I would like to see a bit of a reunion between them, but obviously Josh Alexander is currently in a miniature feud with Charlie Haas, the recently debuting to Impact Wrestling, multi-time WWE Tag Team Champion, a man who was a part of Team Angle back with Shelton Benjamin back in 2002. And then they later on renamed the tag team to the World's Greatest Tag Team in, I want to say, end of 2003, start 2004 time. And obviously ended up winning several tag team titles under both banners, under both names for the tag team together. Now, Charlie Haas debuted, I want to say about 2 weeks back, or last week, whatever the fuck it was. Literally, I don't even remember getting up this morning, let alone fucking when Charlie Haas debuted in Impact. Charlie Haas does definitely look a lot slimmer and a lot less muscular, so to speak, from his tenure in the WWE, which is different, so to speak, from someone like Rene Dupree, who was in the WWE at the time. He was a bit sort of I want to say smooth, but he wasn't. Rene Dupree at the time wasn't exactly built. Now he is. I noticed that when at Fightmare 3, WWE's Fightmare 3 with Rene Dupree, when he was in a 6-man tag team match teaming with Brian Holt and Badass Billy Gunn to take on whoever the fuck they actually took on. I noticed that he was then on June 2nd, 2019, that he was built like a fucking mountain compared to his tenure in the WWE. This is speaking about Rene Dupree. Charlie Haas is in a bit of a reverse from that, because Charlie Haas was kind of built back in his days in WWE, whereas now he's kind of looking a bit like Rene Dupree back then. Do you know what I mean? Just with a bit less muscle. Do you know what I mean? As I said, Josh Alexander, I think, might end up winning the Impact Wrestling World Championship for a second time this year. And he could end up beating Moose, depending on what the situation is with the Royal Rumble. If Moose then decides to do an Alundra Blaze and dump the Impact Wrestling, well, in Alundra Blaze's case, back in the 90s, Alundra Blaze put the then at the time World Wrestling Federation Women's World Championship in the bin, literally, well, trash can as he called it in the States. So Moose might do the same. Well, to be fair, thinking of that now, I personally now think that Moose could do an Alundra Blaze and then bin and then literally throw the Impact Wrestling World Championship into a trash can, exactly how Alundra Blaze did it when she transferred from the at the time World Wrestling Federation, obviously now WWE, when she then was one of the several people to then move over to the World Championship Wrestling, or WCW. So could we potentially see Alundra Blaze 2.0 but in Moose style, or could we not actually see that at all? But yeah, because I'm predicting that if he does do that, then I think that Josh Alexander would have an amazing chance to actually become a 2-time Impact Wrestling World Champion. But I shall be getting into more details of what I think will be coming up at the Royal Rumble this coming Wednesday on episode number 10 and week 10 of the Nerdic Pro Weekly. Apart from what I'm going to say now, to end off this now two-part podcast, I have a very weak bladder, but so yeah, because the reason why I'm doing this in 2 parts is literally because at the end of the last part I needed to go to the toilet, and yeah, so I'd still be talking probably had I not needed to go to the toilet. The podcast will be probably finished by now, but yeah, because it is now borderline 10 o'clock, I'd say. 10:06, there we go. At the time of recording this podcast, 10:06 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So yeah, here in the UK. So yeah, obviously coming up at the Royal Rumble, we've got both the WWE kind of world titles on the line. We've got the WWE Championship being defended between Brock Lesnar in a first time ever match between Brock Lesnar, the defending champion Brock Lesnar, taking on the almighty Bobby Lashley. That match in itself is going to be, no matter who the winner will actually be, that match will be fucking incredible, right? No matter what the outcome is, whether it's a draw, whether it's a fucking double count out, whether Lesnar retains, whether Lashley gets crowned as a new champion, that match is going to be fucking incredible. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so we've also got a match between the former Shield brothers, the former Shield brethren of Seth freaking Rollins. Well, I'll now call him Seth freaking Rollins, and the defending WWE Universal Champion of the of Roman Reigns. And I shall definitely not be acknowledging him at all, but my prediction is that I shall still be acknowledging him as the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world of Roman Reigns. And yeah, so I predict that both titles will be a retain, but personally, I think that both matches could quite easily go either way, because you look at this logically, right? Obviously, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have a feud going on of their own, right? And obviously, they've got a feud going on of their own between each other. So there's a feud going on between Lesnar versus Reigns, right? And they've also got another feud. They've also got feuds of their own. Obviously, Lesnar's feuding with Lashley, and Reigns is feuding with Rollins, right? If both wrestlers retain their title, so if Reigns retains the Universal Championship, and if Lesnar retains the WWE Championship, right, there are rumors going around saying that we will be seeing a title unification match at WrestleMania between Lesnar and Reigns, right? To unify the, just like they have recently done with NXT, and unify the Cruiserweight and the North American title into calling it the North American Cruiserweight title. And yeah, there are rumors going around saying that will be the outcome if both wrestlers actually retain their title. So obviously Lesnar beats, only if Lesnar beats, if Brock Lesnar beats Bobby Lashley, and if Roman Reigns beats Seth Rollins, right? Brock Lesnar beats Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns beats Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. We will then see a title unification match at WrestleMania. Now, what does this then mean for the winner of the men's Royal Rumble match? If things go according to plan for this rumor, for these rumors going around, right? Because I personally think that. Because I personally think that both matches will be retained. I personally think that Brock Lesnar will end up beating Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship and retaining the WWE Championship. And Roman Reigns will end up beating Seth frickin' Rollins for the Universal Championship. As far as the current rumours are concerned about a title unification match, I wouldn't actually mind seeing, right? But will this then mean the end of the brand split as well, right? I get that obviously Becky Lynch did it a couple of years back, obviously being both the Raw and the SmackDown Women's title, and I get that WWE would probably want the men to be the same, but the rumours this time around is that if Lesnar beats Lashley for the WWE title, and if Reigns beats Rollins for the Universal title, then it will be a title unification match where the two belts will then become one, right? Just like they did with the WWE Championship and the gold plate, like the old WCW gold plate championship, to unify those two belts into becoming the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Because obviously, you have the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship, and then they merged them together to then call it the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, right? Because the gold plate was only called the World Heavyweight title, right? And the sort of like the black and gold, like the other, like the WWE logoed plated title was called the WWE title, the WWE Championship, right? So yeah, and just like Kurt Angle did with the European Championship and the Intercontinental Championship, when he was a dual champion with holding both the European and the Intercontinental Championships at the same time, he then militarily unified them to call it the Eurocontinental Championship, right? It's the exact same what they're doing with the NXT North American and the NXT Cruiserweight Championships, calling them unifying them to call them the NXT North American Cruiserweight Championship or the Cruiserweight North American Championship, whatever way round they're actually doing it. I don't watch NXT, right? Not I've done for fucking ages, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, I watch NXT. Well, I do watch NXT UK, but I don't watch the NXT's main roster. But yeah, so as far as these rumours are concerned of the match between Lesnar and Reigns, as far as the rumours are concerned, it's the title. It'll be a title unification match at Mania, so it will be the two belts becoming one. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, what does this then mean for the winner of the Royal Rumble match? Will he, if it is true of rumours and all that, excuse me, that will be seeing a title unification match, even if both men lose and we end up seeing two new champions of Bobby Lashley and Seth freaking Rollins, right? Even if them two go to Mania for a fucking title unification match, right? Or whether it be Reigns versus Lashley, or fucking Seth versus Lashley, or Seth versus Lesnar, or whatever, or fucking Lesnar versus Reigns, whatever fucking way around you want it, whether it to be a title unification match. What does this then mean for the winner of the Rumble match? He might choose at Fastlane next month to face the WWE champion, so either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, right? If it ends up being a title unification, if on night one at WrestleMania this year, we end up seeing a title unification match, right? Will he still get a shot at the world title, at the WWE title, or will he get a shot at both the Universal and the WWE Championship? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Do you know, like, I know that me explaining it is me explaining my thoughts, literally like talking to literally like you listening to a fucking eggplant. But yeah, like, if it is a title unification match, we'll be seeing it on night one, right? For definite, we'll be seeing it on night one, right? For the Royal Rumble winner to then face the winner of the said title unification match at night 2 of Mania this year, right? So yeah, like, either way, will the said winner of the Royal Rumble face compete for a singular championship of the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship, or will he be competing for both if the titles get unified and get merged as one on night one? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, because it's not every fucking day that we see this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get that Becky Lynch, as I said, Becky Lynch did it a few years back when she was both the Raw Women's Champion and the SmackDown Women's Champion. Paige kind of did it way back when she won the inaugural NXT Women's Championship, and she was also the Divas Champion, the WWE Divas Champion at the same time. But yeah, like, all I want to say is my predictions is Roman beats Rollins, Lesnar beats Lashley, title unification match at night 1 at Mania this year. The Royal Rumble winner I'm not too sure about just yet, but I will read out who my 30 men are, who I predicted to be in the match. So I've got number 1, Rey Mysterio, 2, Austin Theory, 3, Madcap Moss, 4, Drew McIntyre, 5, Happy Baron Corbin, 6, Ivar from the Viking Raiders, 7, Dominic Mysterio, 8, AJ Styles, potentially Omos, 9, the WWE US Champion of Damian Priest, number 10, WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, 11, member of the New Day, Big E. 12, the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Number 13, Sheamus. Number 14, The Miz. 15, New Day member Kofi Kingston. Number 16, John Cena. 17, the returning Corey Graves. 18, the NXT champion Bron Breakker. 19, the Swiss cyborg Cesaro. Number 20, if he gets medically cleared to compete, then Xavier Woods. If not, then Volta / Gunther. But I'm sticking to Volta. Number 21, member of the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins. Number 22, Veer Mahan. Number 23, member of the Viking Raiders of Eric. 24, the returning Tyson Kidd. 25, member of the Street Profits of Montez Ford. 26, former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. Number 27, WWE Hall of Famer, the Rated R superstar Edge. Vince McMahon will win the Rumble by last eliminating Triple H, burying NXT. Joking. I couldn't give a fuck about yeah, to be fair, I couldn't give a fuck about WWE either, if I'm perfectly honest with you, Daniel. Do you know what I mean? I'm only doing it just for I'm only talking about WWE in this podcast just for fucking content. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm really running out of ideas to what to fucking do. So yeah, where am I? So I got 26 Jinder Mahal, 27 the Rated R superstar Edge, 28 the returning Hurricane, 29 Paul Heyman. Fuck it, the FSW general. The thing is, like, they've not actually announced who the general manager is yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, before COVID, literally, like, there was like a massive storyline, like, for a mystery general manager, and like they've not actually mentioned who the general manager is yet. I'm really debating whether or not it's actually PVC. Do you know what I mean? Presumably you're on about Jimmy, yeah? Daniel. So yeah, it's me. Number 29 I've got down as Paul Heyman, and number 30 I've got down as the Impact Wrestling World Champion of Moose. It's been me all along. Ha ha ha. I was actually predicting it to be someone. I was thinking it's going to be somebody really obvious, but like no one actually would have guessed it. Do you know what I mean? So this is literally just like another buried storyline. I would really like to see out of them 30 men I've just read out, my favourites to actually win it are McIntyre, Edge, Paul Heyman. Who else did I put down? So my top 5 are Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Pete Dunne, number 4 Paul Heyman, and number 5 I want to say AJ Styles. So what? Fucking pen. So my top 5. Fuck my boots. Right. So AJ, Edge, McIntyre. What else did I say? Paul Heyman. What else did I say? So what? AJ, Edge, McIntyre, 53, or I'll send someone else, and I've completely fucking forgotten who. Moose. Divvy. Fuck. And Moose. Right, so our top 5 to win this year's Royal Rumble match are AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, the Rated R Superstar Edge, the Scottish Psychopath Drew McIntyre, Paul E. Heyman, and Moose, and the Impact Wrestling World Champion. I personally think that Paul Heyman will return as Paul E. Heyman, as he was known back in ECW, when he was like the owner of ECW at the time. Obviously, when ECW kind of disbanded from the NWA, back when the NWA were like a governing body of American territorial professional wrestling, but I'm going to get into that on today's podcast. So yeah, I am now going to finish this podcast and would like to thank you all for joining me, for those of you watching live and for those of you watching after the live stream. Thank you very much, and I shall be seeing you bozos tomorrow evening at 8:35 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time / British time for episode number 2 of the Wrestling on the Nerdic for episode number 2 of the Nerdic Pro Podcast's wrestling review series, where I will be reviewing for 100%. We'll be reviewing the Masked Luchador style wrestling, with a mention of the legendary Mil Mascaras, and I'll be mentioning guys like Rey Mysterio in there as well. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. I have been Bobby Salazar. I have been your Nerdic Pro Podcast General Manager, and this is the penultimate podcast for the podcast and it's the penultimate podcast on the road to the interview with Marty fucking Jones. Right, on Tuesday I'll be interviewing Marty Jones, the British wrestling legend, Marty Jones, for the Nerdic Pro Podcast. And yeah, so this is the penultimate podcast on the road to Marty Jones. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow evening at 8:35 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time / British / UK time. Thank you very much. I shall be seeing you guys tomorrow, probably late Tuesday evening, early Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday evening at 7:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time / British time / GMT / UK time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I shall be seeing you bozos later on. I've been Bobby Salazar, and I've been your Nerdic Pro Podcast, and I've been the host of the Nerdic Pro Podcast and your Nerdic Pro Podcast General Manager. Thank you very much. Goodbye.